Where the tariff picture is going to settle is probably exaggerating somewhat.
We just don't know yet what the impact will be.
Concern is that you need to see stability in the data, you need to see some level of clarity.
Macro volatility and uncertainty will trump the deregulatory positive catalyst.
There's probably less than 3 people in the world that know exactly, what the future looks like.
This is Bloomberg Surveillance with Jonathan Farrell, Lisa Abramowitz, and Anne-Marie Gordern.
Let's get you to the weekend. Live from New York City this morning. Good morning for our audience worldwide. Bloomberg Surveillance starts right now. Coming into Friday as US-China relations sink to a new low.
China has a surplus of $1 trillion. I mean, the numbers are crazy. I don't blame China. I don't blame anybody. I blame the people that were sitting at that desk in that other beautiful Oval Office for allowing it to happen. Let's see what happens with China. We would love to be able to work a deal.
China isn't coming to the table this morning. The nation raising tariffs on U.S. goods to 125% after U.S. tariffs on China rose to a monster 145. The policy volatility raising questions about America's safe haven status, investors confronting an ugly combination of higher bond yields and a weaker dollar. And of course, Krishna Gua writing this: there are only 4 other episodes in the last 30 years in which the dollar depreciated more than 1.5%, with the 30-year bond yield up by more than 10 basis points. The last 24 hours, stocks down, yields up, dollar weaker.
We may look back on the past 2 weeks as the most consequential in modern financial history in terms of a reordering of global affairs, or we may be looking at something that is highly technical that we give a very dramatic narrative to. The difficulty here is how much is what we're seeing a decoupling in financial markets between the rest of the world and the U.S., and how much is things like China selling treasuries, like basis trade unwinds, and like people who don't like uncertainty and are simply boycotting this market.
Very difficult to keep up with what's going on. So if you're just waking up this morning, welcome to the program. We've got some new numbers. 125% tariffs on US goods. 145 is the number that the White House clarified on Chinese goods just yesterday.
So if you're looking at this, you're thinking basically this is U.S. and China decoupling from each other. The Chinese Finance Ministry came out and said, given that American goods are no longer marketable in China under the current tariff rates, if the U.S. further raises tariffs on Chinese exports, China will disregard such measures. So it does feel like this is the top of the tariff rate between both countries. But what is the off-ramp, especially when the Commerce Ministry out of China is throwing in some shade and some hot rhetoric and saying basically it's become a joke?
We need some guidance where we get it. Later on this morning, later this hour, we should get numbers from both JP Morgan and Wells Fargo. Later on this morning, Morgan Stanley at 7:30. What kind of guidance can the banks offer us this morning?
Very little. It's going to be really a dark cloud. There are some things that we could learn. Number one, how much are they increasing their provisions for loan losses? That will be very key. How much are they torpedoing the chance of some sort of resurrection of a wave of mergers and acquisitions?